Hello, Reese. Welcome to your interview.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm going to ask you some questions, okay?
Okay.
All right. Question number one. Tell me about a time when you had to work closely with someone whose personality was very different from yours.
Since I have a very outgoing personality, I had to do a math project with a peer that is very shy and timid. So I tried to communicate with my partner and be as polite as possible. I tried to make them feel comfortable, and I also tried to help them communicate with me without pushing them out of their comfort zone.
Perfect. Okay. Number two. Describe a time when it was especially important to you to make an impression on a client, or make a good impression on a client. How did you go about doing so?
So at work, I had to serve a client, and it was actually someone from corporate that came in to just check on our store and to see how each person at our store works. So when doing this, I made sure I was very polite. I kept eye contact, and I made sure I didn't skip any steps when taking the order. And then when I made their ice cream, I made sure I did it perfectly, and I made sure it was very neat, and I didn't skip any steps while doing so.
Great. Okay. Question number three. Describe a time when your team or company was undergoing some changes. How did that impact you, and how did you adapt?
So this past year, my softball team got a new coach, and since change is hard for a lot of my teammates, including myself, we had to really find a way to adapt without our team falling apart. So going to the season, I went in with an open mindset, and I encouraged my teammates to do so as well. After a couple weeks, we began to really like our coach, and we actually liked some of the different things she did with us.
So that sounds like y'all ended up having a great season.
Yes.
All right, question number four. Tell me about a time an unexpected problem derailed your planning, and how did you recover?
So this past week, I was planning out what I had for every day, and I realized that I had my area tournament for softball, and I also had a theater showcase. So when deciding which one I was going to go to, I ultimately decided to go to my area tournament. And so I had to let my theater director know, and so I made sure that there was someone to cover my lines and someone to sing my part in the song. And so when doing this, I just let everyone know, and then I went on to the tournament, and ultimately they were both successful.
Good. So great communication.
Yes.
All right. Give me an example of a time when you had a difficult conversation with a frustrated colleague or client. How did you handle the situation?
So a couple weeks ago at work, I had a client come in, and they ordered 3 large ice creams, and I rung it up, and it was over $20, and they told me that they usually pay for this with a $20 bill, and that it was going to be under $20. So after kindly explaining that how much each ice cream was and why it was over $20, she continued to argue with me. And so eventually I went in the back and got our lead server, and she handled the rest of the situation for me. And at the end of the day, she ended up paying the right amount. So.
Good. So knowing who to contact when you need it to.
Yes.
All right. So last one. Give me an example of a time you were able to be creative with your work. What was exciting and what was difficult about it?
So at our work, we get a lot of freedom and we have a lot of fun. So we get to customize and combine our favorite ice cream in Italian ice flavors. We have this menu called our favorites menu, and it's just a bunch of the workers' favorite combinations of each thing. And so each month or so, our boss will come in and she'll ask us to make some, and we'll add it to our menu. And so my favorite part of this is every time that my menu gets added to the board and a customer asks what I recommend for them, I usually tell them the one that I got to put together.
Awesome. Well, I think you did a great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.